All right, welcome to Yeshua is King Ministries. This is your host, James. This is going to be number 7, and I'm going to share with everyone something I just went through, what it was like to go through it, and what it took to get out of it. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring you back probably maybe 50 years. I'm not going to tell you my life story, but back in the day, folks, there was due to Playboy, Penthouse, and many other type of magazines, same Hustler and all those. Um, the community or the society in America was hypersexualized, huge, and it's even gotten worse today. You're not going to get a what do you call it a a sermon about don't do porn. Okay, that's not what this is about. What I am going to show you is exactly how far off this country is and how far off how lost and far off the churches are, what you're supposed to be doing and not what they're doing, what they're telling you to do. So let's get to it. 50 years ago, hypersexualized. Basically, that was what everybody thought of all the time, constant. And eventually it turned into woman worship. But you say, okay, one of the biggest perpetrators was Playboy. You were able to subscribe to the magazine for the year, and you would get one each month. Now, that's looking at other women other than your wife. So that would be, I think it's considered adultery. I believe that's what how the Bible interprets it, or how Yeshua interprets it. That would be adultery. You're not supposed to be doing all that. You're not supposed to be going from bed to bed. Okay. And if anybody ever wondered why all this is happening, this is the funky part. And this is what I want to get into. Because why is it that this is okay? The women back in the 80s used to dress conservatively. Go look at a 1984 mall. Go look and see how they were dressed. Go look and see how the 1970s malls, where people were dressed there. Even in the 90s, see how they were dressed out in public. You'll notice that the women aren't dressed that way. Okay. If you go to Walmart today, I don't know what it is, but basically they're wearing this black underwear. So that's almost completely see-through. So they have what they used to do in magazines, it's now being done in public. Why? That was the whole thing I had. Why was this happening? I started when I turned to Yeshua, it was about 5 to 7 years ago. Um, rather than going through the whole scenario. I say 5 to 7 is because there was a memory here. There was a part of it that I can't really remember, but it's neither here nor there. So for the last 5 years, 5 years, you have to fight off a lifetime of this hypersexualization, a lifetime of being basically you have the set apart spirit in you when you're baptized in the set apart spirit. Yeshua baptizes you. He pours the set apart spirit in you, and then all of that within your own heart is gone. Set apart spirit takes it all away. He also takes away the cigarettes. If you're smoking, you can't quit cigarettes unless you have the set apart spirit in you. Extremely difficult because if you do it on your own, you're going to constantly have that nagging craving. And it happens every once in a while. It'd be like every 2 or 3 weeks, you'll have a nagging craving and you'll end up going back. I tried to quit like 5 times and couldn't do it. When the set apart spirit was in me, was poured into me, I was able to quit, have the strength to do it. Um, and haven't smoked since. Haven't really even wanted it at all. I had, I think, 1 or 2 cravings, or I'd smell it, and then I'd go, no, no, don't want nothing to do with that. That I'm not a smoker. I'm not one of those guys. Okay. I don't look at smoking as my identity per se. However, it's a constant barrage of sex pushed at you when you go to the stores, if you're watching any kind of commercial, any kind of anything on television or on videos or whatever it is, there's going to be something that's hypersexualized and it's going to be hitting you. It's like a barrage of it all the time. Okay. So for a cocaine addict, that's like someone just putting a big old line of cocaine right in front of you all day long. And, it's like 10 inches away, a foot away from you all day long. And this goes on and on and on. So I'm pleading with Yeshua. What is this? Why is this happening over and over and over again? I'm not getting internally tempted. I'm not even, I don't even think about it. Throughout that whole time that it was happening, I never um, undressed any woman in my mind throughout the whole time. Since the time that the set apart spirit was placed in me. Seriously, that's all gone. But yet you're barraged by it around you all the time. And it's a lot of cleavage, a lot of this, a lot of that. And women just won't stop. You don't understand why they're not stopping from doing that. I mean, are you, you have problems. Whatever it is, you've got problems. And then you have all these people, LGBTQ, that are hypersexualized, and they're putting that stuff in the streets, trying to do this over and over. So if you want to clean a country up, why not turn off the porn, right? You can try that. You'll have women raping and getting raped in the streets. It's that bad. Okay. That is the failure of men and the failure of women. And I'll tell you both where those failures are here in just a few. So all of a sudden, one day it was gone. It all ended. And Yeshua comes to me a couple of days ago and he says, you won. You succeeded in what you were trying to do. You won. You won this fight and you won this battle. And I couldn't understand exactly what he was saying. What do you mean won? And believe me, it hasn't happened since. It's amazing. It's just like a sense of freedom that you would never imagine. It's oppressive. It's an oppressive thing that happens in a society. It's what they do. And so why is this being done to men over and over and over? Here we go. Okay, man has to overcome. Now, what does man have to overcome? Here's the thing. Let's go all the way back to Adam and Eve, all the way back. If you read the story and you know the story, if you don't, go back and read it. What Adam did was Eve had already brought in the serpent, had already brought the devil in. to their relationship by talking to him. He had no business there, and he was up to no good. And then Adam joined his wife Eve in the rebellion. It's about rebellion. All of it from the beginning is about rebellion. It was about rebellion of the third of the angels. It was about rebellion when it came to Adam and Eve, to tempt them into joining the rebellion against their own father. How did he rebel? That's the key. How did Adam rebel? And this is very difficult to explain, so just bear with me. I'm doing the best I can with this. Okay. Now, what did they do? He let the woman in between Adam and the father. Adam and the father were there already. Adam, or the father, used to dwell within Adam. In other words, he physically was possessing him within his inner heart of hearts. That was his throne. That is the father's throne. So he allowed Eve to get in between them. He picked Eve over the father. And when he allowed him in between them, that was rebellion. He joined with Eve and the devil in the rebellion. He allowed Eve and the devil in between them, in between himself and the father. That broke the father's heart. Literally broke his heart. Number one, the father knew how ignorant Adam and Eve were. They didn't know anything about lying. They didn't know anything about cheating or killing or murdering or anything of that nature. They didn't know any part of that. They'd never seen it before. And he knew what the devil did to him. It broke his heart. Absolutely broke his heart. How do I know that? Because he showed me. He brought me back to that time and showed me what he felt. That is a part of the narrow way. Okay? Now, this was Adam's mistake by letting the woman in between Adam and the father. Now, guess what's happened? This is how far off everybody is. They keep chasing after the Father, Yahweh, our Father in heaven. And if you have people that come in and start saying Yahweh is a demon, shrug them off. They're ignorant. Don't deal with them. Very sick people. However, it has changed. Okay? That has all changed after Yeshua died and was resurrected and ascended into the Father, up to the Father, and took his place at his right hand. That's changed. What's changed? Now women are getting in between men and Yeshua because Yeshua bought you. So now you have to go through Yeshua to get to the Father. But what's happening is the women are getting in between Yeshua and the man. All right, this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what this looks like so you understand what this is. It's extremely sick. Okay, here, I'm just going to do a real quick one. And then I got another one I can do. I'll share this video. Here we go. Share sound. Okay, there we go. Here it is.
Stop filming me.
What is your problem? Do not touch me. I don't care.
I am reporting you.
Please report me.
Stop filming me.
What is your problem?
Okay. See how she's in charge? See what she's doing? She has brought herself in between the man and Yeshua. Therefore, his blessings are cut off. And she is one miserable woman. Okay. That's what's happened. I'll show you this one here. This one's unbelievable, by the way. I'm trying to shut this off. Okay. Okay. This is the problem that we're having. I'll share this. And there we go. I want you to see this. Look at this. Okay. This guy right here wants nothing to do with this. Look who's in charge. Looks scared to death. Look who's in charge. Here's the I'm in charge here. Okay. He's just sitting here. This dude's just doing exactly what he's told. He's got this woman over here running the show, running the house. She's supposed to be submitting to him if this is not his mother. But that's what it kind of looks like. But if this is her husband, I just want you to see this picture. This picture is what the problem is.
What was that? Who are you? My name is Michelle. Hi, Michelle. I live here in Rockton. That's cool.
Well, it's very nice. No one cares. Look at him. This is the problem. When you have this issue, have you noticed that women have come in and basically taken over almost all government jobs, especially news jobs? I mean, women are all in the news. There's like three or four men, the rest women, everywhere. The men have allowed them to come in and take over. And look what you've got in the country. Look at the mess it is. It's a huge mess. But look at his face right here. Look at that. So what you need to do is, boys, you need to turn into men. Stop allowing this to happen because what they're doing is they cursing you to hell. That's what's happening. To rebellion. He is helping her in her rebellion against Yeshua, acting like she's in charge. She's not in charge. That's what's happening. Feminism is rebellion against the Father and against Yeshua. Exactly what it is. And he's allowing her to come in between him and Yeshua. And look what a wuss he's become. Look what he's turned into. That's not a man. You got this thing over here. I'm going to call it a thing because that's not a normal woman. A normal woman doesn't do this. A normal woman does say, I'm going to report you. I'm reporting you because you don't have this, you don't have that. It's getting bad, guys. And when you're allowing this to happen, this cuts you off. How are you ever supposed to have a relationship with Yeshua? How are you ever supposed to find him if you're allowing a woman to get in between you? Which means there's no room for him. There's no room in your heart for him. She is taking his spot in your life. She is in rebellion and on his throne and have cut you off completely from even getting to know him. Because why? You need her permission to do everything. She's a dictator. She is a dictator. When she has power, she will screw you left and right. She will cut you out. She will do everything she can. And that's what they call a wicked woman. An obedient woman to that, she wants her husband, her boyfriend, whoever, to have a relationship with Yeshua so she's not cut off. This woman, there's no room for Yeshua with her. None whatsoever. Why would you ever be with something like that? And this is what he said. He says, you've overcome. He put all that upon me so that I would fight it, keep fighting it, and keep fighting it. And I fought it for 5 years. That's how you get out of it. And you finally reach the end of the line. And he says, nothing will come in between us. Nothing. And that's what he told me. Nothing will come in between us. It doesn't mean that I go and abuse my wife. That's not what it means. She is actually blessed so much more than if it was the other way around. You treat her like you love her as he loves his temple, his his church. Okay? So that's not what's going to happen, ladies. If your man doesn't allow you to come in between him and Yeshua, and he says, no, you're not going to do that. I do what he says. I don't do what you say. I do what he says. If that's the case, then yeah, she'll be blessed. She'll be taken care of. So are her children and everybody else. It's the Father, Son, set apart spirit, man, woman, children. That's the hierarchy. It is not Father, Son, um, set apart spirit, woman, man, children, where he actually just kind of joins the children. That is not what it is. It was 5 years to get out of that. 5 years of constant barragement. They thought they were tempting me. I wasn't being tempted. I was just being harassed with it. The harassment's gone. It's over. Nothing gets in between us. No state, no federal, no local, no laws passed under a woman named Columbia or Lady Liberty. That doesn't come in between us. Nothing comes in between us. That's where you're supposed to be. That is where men are supposed to go. Instead, if you look at the screen, this is where they are, right here. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And all this is the First Amendment people. They were filming some kind of LGBT stuff, and she's going to go defend it. She's going to use her womanhood to defend the plight of the LGBT. That's all she's doing. I have special privileges here. I have this and I have that, and I've married the state over and above my husband. And I'm going to use the power of the state to get what I want. They were First Amendment auditors. It's hilarious. It's actually a fun one. And they just had cameras. They weren't even, they just freaked out over the cameras. They weren't even there for them. It was an audit thing, the First Amendment audit. Would they be allowed to film? That's it. But Karen here is in charge. And here's little wussy man not doing a thing about it. This is so, this is such an abomination. You would not believe. This is how far off the churches are. I was listening to Dr. Phil. He does the same thing. He pushes the woman worship. Like men should be afraid of him. I got just a couple of questions. When was it a mandate that you do exactly what a woman tells you? You're a man. You don't have to do a thing. You can just sit there and look at her. Gonna make me do it? What? Oh, well, if you don't, I'm going to bring the state upon you and you're going to be lose your kids and you're going to do this or that. All right, if you're going to be a wicked woman, that's fine. You're going to pay for that later on for what you're doing. But just because you open your mouth doesn't mean I have to get up and do it. There is no law being broken by not doing what somebody says, especially your wife. There is no law being broken. They will try to manipulate. They will try to hurt you. They will try to do everything they can possibly do to get power over you, especially a wicked woman, because they want to get in between you and Yeshua. Why? Because they're jealous. They want to be with Yeshua, not you. They're jealous. That's in the wicked woman's heart. Jealousy. She's jealous of everybody. It's something to think about. Now, you can call this uh, patriarchy, whatever you want to call it, but this is the way of things. You're going to have to accept it. Otherwise, there's a little place that burns people like you forever. You have to accept the hierarchy. You have to accept the way it is. They are not going to change it. Yeshua is not going to change it. Our Father in heaven is not going to change his mind. Never going to change his mind. You're not going to change it. You can say it this way. You can live in your fantasy your whole life. And when you die, try that crap with him. Try what you try with your husband. What you've been doing to your husband your whole life. Try that with him. I would love to see that. I just want to sit there, eat some popcorn, you know, look at the entertainment of how stupid you're going to feel real quick. He doesn't change his mind because guess what? If you're not going to serve your husband while you're here, you're not going to serve Yeshua while you're there. Just because you changed or that you died does not mean that you are going to change your ways. You must assimilate to heaven. If you serve your husband here, you serve the Father and Yeshua there. That's how that works. You've had many, many years of practice, and you can serve right along with your husband. Anybody that's on the narrow way, I was shown when I was told that I had overcome. I was shown exactly how far away people are because you have to return to the original crime and the original crime of rebellion. Men, that's where you have to go. Go back to the original crime and begin to work on that. Get all this stuff out of you to not let anyone between you and Yeshua. That shows who you serve. It's sealed on this earth. When it's sealed here, it's sealed there. And the reason why it is because it's a pure act of faith. What I mean by that is that you have no way of proving to anybody that Yeshua actually is still alive, and you have no way of proving that the Father exists. Isn't that amazing how a world was made, and the creator of it is there's no evidence of his existence. That is a that's an awesome piece of work. So please don't become this guy, guys. Get a pair. All right. I'm not saying go beat your wife or your girlfriend. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is, and not take care of her or anything like that. What I'm saying is just stop being a lapdog. Seek the Father with all your heart, mind, and being. Seek Yeshua through the straight gate down the narrow way so he can get you there. If you're not going to serve his son, you're not going to serve him. And this is the way it works. This is the way of things. Overcome that no one comes in between you. Think about that. Think about where that does, what does for you, what that does for you. That means that you will never hear out of him, I never knew you. You will live with him in peace, in his kingdom, at his privilege. You listen to him, nobody else. Obviously, the Father comes in and says things through him. That's a different story. You do listen to the Father. However, you listen to Yeshua. Yeshua will never steer you wrong. So don't become this. Quit doing, look at, man, she's in charge, ain't she? Look at her. I run this show, buddy. You see my bitch right here on the right? That's my bitch. I tell him what to do. Guess what he did? He allowed her to get in between him and Yeshua. Yeshua would have never known him. And if he doesn't know you, you end up in hell. There's no appeal. But he sure knows her. Guess what? She can't give him salvation. She can't give him everlasting life. She's going to get what she wants when she wants it. And he becomes a woman worshiper. That's the way it works. This is what I was shown by Yeshua himself. Don't do this. Don't allow it. Don't allow this dysfunction in your life. How scared he looks is freaking hilarious. It's sad but hilarious at the same time. She just tells him he runs his life. He's perfectly happy with it, probably. If it's his mama or if it's his yeah, you don't even do this after you're 18 with your moms. Don't let your moms come in between you and Yeshua. They need to let you go so you can go to Yeshua. It's not disrespecting your parents. It's not honoring your parents. You're going to Yeshua where you need to go. You don't have to listen to anyone on this planet when you're 18 and above. You have to listen to Yeshua. He owns it and he owns you. Do not let anyone come in between you. Ever. This path I've been on for a very long time. Well, feels like a very long time. Let's put it that way. Feels like I've been on it my whole life. But don't let anybody come in between you. Thanks for listening. This is the seventh broadcast of the Yeshua's King Ministries. I hope you learned something today. And it's been a pleasure sharing this with everyone. My life has definitely changed because of it. My heart has changed to peace. I don't have all this mess around me all the time. And I love it. Absolutely love it. It's something that you will never, ever forget. It's something that you will always be appreciative of and glad you went through it, even if it took a lifetime to go through it. If it took 50 or 70 years to get through it and then to overcome, awesome. You overcame. Nothing comes in between us. So don't even try. Um, I get persecution sometimes, from people that really have no idea what they're talking about, weren't even there at the time. They were just running rumors. Um, my former name will be there, all on the internet with all just a bunch of people and their opinions. There's no proof of anything that they've ever said. But guess what? They'll never get in between us because it really doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what anyone's opinion is on this planet. His, and this is coming from him, his opinion and his judgments are the only thing that actually, literally matter. Others matters not. So remember that the next time that you're trying to say this or say that about myself or anybody that I know or people around me. Um, it really doesn't matter what you say. You can believe whatever you want. I am not here for you to get your attention. I am not here for your approval. You can manipulate Trump. He's easy. He's easy to manipulate because your opinion means something to him because he gets something from it. I don't. Okay. So keep, there was a lady I heard the other day doing something, saying crap. It's, it's just junk. That's all it is. It is not true. None of it is. If it was true, it'd bother me, but it doesn't. I would do the best I could to repent from whatever is being accused of, if it's true, but none of it's true. So, um, just remember that if you are doing the accusing, it will fall on deaf ears. I'm with Yeshua, not you. Nothing comes in between us. His opinion matters. Yours does not. Your thoughts of me, nothing. Doesn't matter. I would rather just have peace with them, with people, and move on. The whole Christian way of trying to shame people into things does not work here. None of it does. I only worry about what Yeshua says. He's my brother. So thank you, and we'll see you next time.